Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to talk about making some more memory wire earrings. I've got these two samples here. I've made them with the silver color bead and silver findings, and today I'm going to work with the gold memory wire. So what we're doing is we're cutting a piece of the curved memory wire, and here's my gold memory wire. And I found that about 0.15 on my measuring tape works about right for making the earring. And of course you always want to be sure that you cut both sides at the same time so that you get the two hoops that are going to be the same size. Okay, so we're getting up to 0.5. Here's 0.5 right there. And I use memory wire cutters, which are these heavyweight pliers, for cutting because they sure do a lot better job. There we are. So you get a piece that looks like that with the open top. And then before I put aside my coil here, I'm going to just measure one to the other around like so. And I'll cut the other one. There we go. So we can set that aside. So now I want to make the bottom into a nice curve. And so what I have done is I do them both at the same time so I get the same curve. I'm going to line them up again. And I'm going to go down from this open piece at the top down to here. And I'm using the square-edged pliers. And then push the pieces so that they crisscross like that. Now that makes a really sharp point at the bottom, so then I'll take my round pliers and just give that a little bit of softening because I want the bead to sit at the bottom here, as I show in one of these earrings. The bead goes down at the bottom. Okay, so that's my two pieces ready to go. And that the earring's going to be about that size because I'm going to do loops at the top. Now what I like to do first is to do one side of the loop because I can always feed my black wire or black tubing on from one side to the other, and it's much easier to make this loop when there's nothing there to be against it. So there, I've got my one loop done on one side. Now on mine that I made, I used this heavier tubing, which is like this. It also comes in a much lighter version. If you like that better, that would be another option. It comes in brown and black and a clear color. But anyway, for my purpose, I'm going to use the thicker one because I like the effect of the thicker one. So now that I've got my one loop done, I'm going to measure how much of the tubing I need. So I'm going to have the tubing come down, and then the bead's going to sit at the bottom. I'll just feed the bead on. Now in the ones I'm making, I'm going to use a bead that doesn't float on the tubing, so that I have to make the tubing fit into the bead a little bit. It's a little bit more complicated. If you pick a bead with a bigger hole, then you can just let it ride on the tubing. But I might as well show you the harder way. So we're going to cut two pieces the same. Now again, when I was saying that this tubing is too big to go through the bead. See the hole of the bead there, like that. So what I do is I take my scissors and I angle that bottom piece there, like that. I'm going to do it on both of them. There we go. Just cut off that little bit so that then this will fit into the bead much nicer, like so. Okay, so I'm going to keep, that's going to go against the bead, so I'll feed this side on first because it's going to go all the way around and up to this other side. And I see I've got enough room at the bottom here for my bead. I'll tuck the bead in next. And this piece will go into the bead like so, just nice and snug. And then this piece, I've got my angled piece will go towards the bead. So we'll put this side in. And tuck that in nice and snug there into the bead. So, oh, I did it the wrong way. We want this piece to go down. So it didn't look like it was right. So my angled piece is going to go into the bead. Just tuck it so that it sits right inside the bead. Now, by doing the, oh, I see what happened. It went back up that way. There we are. Now, once we do the other circle on this side, we're going to hold this all nice and snug. So once again, I'm using my memory wire pliers. They work very well. And grab hold at the very end and do a wrap. Now, in order to hold this tubing so that it doesn't slide, we want to make this wrap go all the way around and past a little bit so that the tubing won't slide up past there. So there we are. This is going to be a bigger hoop than I made the other ones. Now I used a 5mm jump ring to hook this together. Take my pliers and get the jump ring ready here. Just give it a little opening. So I'll hook it from one side. Oops, come on. There we are. And hook the other side. And then go back in with my 2 pairs of pliers and close that up nice and neat. Make sure they're closed really good. So then it's going to sit like that. And then I need another jump ring. It's already open, so oop. Give it a little bit more of an opening so that we don't have them spurt like that. There we are. Okay, so this is going to just hook in there and then hook into the shepherd hook. And again, we'll close that up nice and neat. So there we are. That's how I made these silver ones. So now we have one made with the gold color. And I had a couple of other ideas to show you too that I made with memory wire. Okay, so this one, I used my hammering block and hammered. Now, you might not be able to see too much. It doesn't make as much of a indentation as with heavier wire, but it does make a little bit so it catches the light nicely. So that's another way. And what I did with that one, I just cut the piece of memory wire and I hooked the 2 at the top here. Instead of using the jump ring in between, I brought them both together. So that's another idea that you can use your memory wire for making earrings. And I had another one. Anyway, the other one, I just took a bunch of little pieces. And because there's a natural curve in the memory wire, oh, here it is, there we go. So a natural curve, they will naturally just fall nicely all into a nice little combination of curves. And that makes a really nice earring as well. Anyway, have fun with your memory wire. It does more than just bracelets, like the one I'm wearing. This is memory wire bracelet, which does the wrap like a slinky. But making earrings work really well too. Thanks for watching.